Hey gang, welcome back to Dr. Bosky, and today I thought I would share with you a little tip that I found. Thank you for Sunny for pointing this out for a use case that I had that may apply to you. So we're talking about the smart bomb object here, and we're talking about the canceling ability and its ability to override bullets that override bullets cancelable property. So I'll explain what that means here in just a second. And then I'll show you the use case. So then what you have is on weaponry, on enemies, you have basically the ability to have it cancel its bullets when killed. And sometimes you want to make sure this is the case because it's nice to clean up the screen to give rewards if you have cancelable objects giving you items that go into the player. Sometimes you want the bullets to stay around. The main point is that you want to have options for crafting the types of gameplay experiences that you'd like to author. So you have that aspect, and then you also have inside of your weaponry in the bullet tab, you have the ability to also make bullets cancelable if you check that box. Also super cool. So it works with bombs, works with your super gauge. And in some cases, as you can see here, I have this weapon here, this giant sword, and it's shooting these demon skulls out of the sword itself. And I will just show you what that looks like real quick. All right, so I'm just gonna use my bomb here temporarily to show you just the sequence. So now you can see here, actually, let me change that. For science purposes, all right. And I don't want to be yelling over the game, so let me just turn off the audio. All right, cool. All right, so what we had here, in my case, I have this boss, and then as you progress through the boss fight, the flamey sword bits appear, as you can see here. And then these flamey sword bits, they kind of come up and down, and then they create these channels for basically these demon heads. And what I was finding from play testing is that if you cancel all of these bullets, then in my particular game, it basically starts to fill your super gauge. So you kind of get in this loop where you can do 5 or 6 supers back to back, and you're just destroying the boss way too fast. So then what I wanted to do is I was like, okay, well, we won't allow those to be cancelable, either on killing the swords, because the swords only die. They're on waypoint loops. They only die when the boss dies. I didn't want to also, when I was using supers, generate a ton of additional super gauge. So the other side of this was that I don't have a bomb in my game, so it was mainly just the super bits. So and then the problem that I ran into, and you'll see this here, you have to watch for it, is that when I kill the boss, I have some flamey demon skulls left over because I didn't want to cancel them during the fight because it made you too strong. I only want to cancel them after the fight because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with the boss defeat. And it kind of sucks to get hit by stuff when you thought like you got the big victory jingle and you're like, yeah, I beat the boss. So it's always fun. And this is a nice tip to be able to clean up the playfield to make it safe. So it's a trick that Cave does when you go in and out of like mini bosses or bosses, just so you know, as you're getting ready to change the player's attention to be focused somewhere else, not leaving a bunch of stuff on the playfield that could hurt the player is a good design philosophy. So you can see here, I'll finish this off here. And you can see I get those big cancels anyways when you're chunking down the boss. So it's just too much on top of everything else. So you can see here, I have all that insanity. And then you could see that I had those skulls left over. So I was like, well, how do I fix this? And I didn't really know. And that brings us back to this into the smart bomb object, right? So all I did here is and the nice thing is you can do this where you can choose not to play the explosion. You can choose not to have it do damage to anything else on screen. So it's quite versatile. And so all I did is I came down here, I added canceling, and I made sure to override bullets cancelable property. Now that you know all the pieces, and then I have a trigger here, which is connected entity state is all dead. That's just connected to the boss. So when the boss dies now, I have this little guy here, which then is going to cancel those. So I'll go and show that to you here. It's nice to have that little bit of refinement, just to get that kind of sweet spot in terms of crafting the types of gameplay experiences that you would like. These little things matter. This is design, right? Ready? Here we go. Boom. Huzzah! All right, I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. And to everyone else, we'll see you next time.